All right, so we'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock on the dot. So first off, we're going to start off with the constitutional oaths to myself, and then I will administer it to Tom and to Rick. This chair is very small to do such.
Left down the Bible,
All right.
right hand up,
All
and
right.
you're going to repeat after me.
Okay.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of mayor,
the duties of the office of the mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. All right. Here we go. So I guess I do this for the other two. All right. Take the newbie first. All right. Ready?
Yep.
All right. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of trustee
the duties of the office of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Mr. Hughes?
Yeah, how are you, kid? I'm sorry. I got my hand over what you're reading.
That's right. Right. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
New
the
York,
Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of trustee
the duties of the office of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose. That was cool. Very much so. All right.
No, don't put cool in minutes.
All right, so let's start off with resolution number 1, 2015 to 2016 designations. Before we do that, we need to stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alrighty. And then we'll do a quick roll call. So Mayor Mosier is here. Trustee Hughes?
Here.
Trustee Patterson?
Present.
Trustee Bradley?
Yep.
Trustee Gunther?
Here.
I was going to say Walt. Treasurer Jean? Here. Clerk Rose?
Here.
And DPW Superintendent Corey Gross?
Here.
All right. And this will not be a public comment meeting, as we are simply doing the organizational for the Village of Cattaraugus. So starting off with resolution number 1, 2015 to 16 designations. Starting off with the village clerk undertaking, $100,000 bond. Official newspaper, only at Times. Meeting night, the second Monday of each month at 7 p.m. Work session night, the fourth Monday of each month at 7 p.m. The next organizational meeting will be April 4th, 2016 at 7 p.m. Meeting rules are going to be NICOM Handbook for Village Officials, edition 2013, Rules and Procedures, Chapter 5, pages 1 through 9. Procurement policy is the one that we already have in 1992 with a 2014 amendment. Cell phone and computer policy, we currently do not have one. And that will be tabled to the April 13th meeting, which will be next Monday. Internet use policy, adopting the one for 2014 Village Employee Handbook. Fixed assets policy, the one that was created back in 1998. The investment policy, the one that was created back in 2010. Sexual harassment policy, 2004 Village Employee Handbook, Village or Vehicle Use Policy. There's currently not one. We will table that for the meeting for next Monday. In regards to the vehicle use for, any vehicle use that the village owns, that they are not to be used for traveling, for personal use. So they are to stay within the village, unless having to go pick up an order or something that is needed as an emergency. Workplace violence prevention policy, the one that was created back in, created this year of 2015. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve.
I second.
All say yay,
Aye.
or aye, and any that say no. All right, approved and carried. Resolution number 2, which would be the appointments and salaries. Mayor is myself, Dan Mosier, at $4,000 a year. Deputy mayor, I'll open that up to all trustees. Is there anybody that is interested in being deputy mayor?
You know, I'll turn it over to those that have seen, you guys have seniority over me. Anybody?
You've been on the board before.
No. All right, put me down.
Refused, deputy mayor.
I think you do a very good job.
Tell to my wife.
Alright. Trustees, Nikki Bradley, $1,500 a year. Richard Fuse, $1,500 a year. Walter Gunther, $1,500 a year. And Thomas Patterson, $1,500 a year. Also, position for auditor of claims. This will be to come in prior to each board meeting to sign the vouchers or invoices that the village has, and then we can submit it for the abstract. This will also get an additional $500 a year. Anybody
Who filled that position? Was that Jen? Who did that before?
It's a new position.
Nobody had that position prior, so I'm opening it up to anybody that is able to come in a half hour before each meeting to sign the invoices and submit them for the abstract.
Well, wouldn't that be what we're doing already? Do you know what I mean?
That would be where,
Because we look through the invoice and everything when we go through the abstract and sign the vouchers.
right, but that was held during the board meeting instead of being able to,
Can I just say, is this a necessary position? Seems like we all sign anyway.
You do all sign? My understanding is that this is instead of all board members signing,
this is one person.
Oh,
rather than having the vouchers reviewed during the meeting, is my understanding.
Yes.
So,
I nominate Nikki. I'm not.
okay.
You seem to be the most meticulous in looking.
I don't know what you're talking
All right, maybe you accept?
about. Sure.
All right.
I was gonna nominate you, you struggling student.
All right, moving on to committees. Police department will be myself and another trustee who would like to handle the police department with myself.
I would.
Tom? All right, streets and DPW, which would be myself and another trustee, Nikki. Village properties will be myself and who will
I'll
volunteer.
do that.
All right, water and sewer will be done by the village board. Events, parades such as the Memorial Day Parade, they'll be handled by the village board. Insurance, done by the village board. Civil defense, they'll be done by the village board. Youth council,
That's me.
it's you. Senior citizens,
I'll do that.
parks and trees.
Rick, you like trees.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, like we don't need more of them, no. Yeah, put me down.
All right, ambulance. Anyone?
Isn't that are they a private entity now? They are.
I thought that they were. I mean, because they're a for-profit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if we need to
We
be.
need a liaison between them, but
Yeah.
they're not, we don't fund them in any way, shape, or form.
Same with the fire department, we don't fund
When
them.
they- you know,
So that we can just cancel the ambulance.
Well, we should probably have somebody available if there's a question
So is there anybody that would be willing to attend the meetings for the ambulance that they have monthly?
No. But if there's a question, you know, if they have a question, they can refer it. God, it seems like a lot of bureaucracy now. I'll do it.
You'll do it?
Put me down, you know, if there's a question.
All right, the library?
I'll do it.
And the planning and zoning.
I'll do that one.
Okay,
Who's in charge of the ambulance?
Ken Charles.
Ken Charles.
all right, so the, file moving forward, going on with clerk, collector, and registrar, Rose LeQuay, salary of $27,350 a year. Treasurer, Eugene Bissett, $6,700 a year. Deputy clerk, collector, and registrar, Joy LeQuay, $11.25 an hour. Attorney, Jay France, which would be subject to the village and attorney retainer agreement. Also, in regards to your paperwork, for those that want to look at it, the resume is provided.
I don't know why I was switching.
I have not been reached out by the current attorney at this point in time, and I have received the, what do you call it, the resume from Jay. Code enforcement officer, Gary Brecker, which is subject at $3,500 a year.
Wasn't that Frank now?
I did not hear from Frank either.
Who's Gary Brecker?
Gary Brecker currently does multiple municipalities, including Little Valley, town of, what else does he do? His resume is also in here.
Brant, Gowanda, Napoli,
Yes.
South Dayton, and Dayton.
He does around once or twice a week. He'll stop by and meet with and see if anybody needs anything, and he will go ahead and get that taken care of, where it won't take as much time as it has in the past. Animal control officer, Mary Baker, $800 a year. Street commissioner and superintendent of public works. That position is still held vacant, as an appointment states per village law must be done that the individual must live within live within the village. So that seat is still vacant. However, though, Corey still holds the position.
Seriously?
Since when? Whoa,
No.
no.
Hold the phone.
Denny Huber was our superintendent for years. He did not live within the domain of the village, okay? We have a residency requirement for Denny, okay? This is all new to me, okay? That position is not vacant as far as I'm concerned, okay?
That was never
position
even
is
brought
held by
into
Corey
a.
Rose, okay?
In regards to that, with the superintendent, yes, Denny Baker was
No,
hired.
Denny Huber.
Or Denny Huber, excuse me. Baker is a completely different person. Denny Huber was hired. Went back to look at the minutes of the board back in 1989. Is that what it was?
I think so.
And all it states is hired, does not state appointed. And in regards to being
And
appointed,
we hired him.
correct.
Yeah.
I
And
cannot
there's-
appoint him because he does not live in the village.
So what you're saying is that if Joe Schmo comes in that lives in the village,
Okay?
they're gonna give it to him.
It's not
Can I ask one thing, Dan?
That's just.
What's the plan for like the last day of me working here? Do you have a plan? I mean, could you at least give me
You're
that?
still employed by the village board.
I understand,
Yeah, it's
but
not-
it sounds like there's a possibility that Corey will not be. I'm curious.
I cannot appoint you per the law. So therefore, the seat is still vacant. You are hired by the village, okay? So you do hold the superintendent of public works position, but I cannot appoint you per the law. That is a municipal
Well,
law.
then this should not be an appointed position.
That's what it is.
My
Well,
question is, do I still have a job moving forward?
yes, you do.
Yes, you have a job at this point in time.
No.
Can you
No.
give me a
He has
can you
one
give me
as
a-
we hired you.
Can you give me a
This when we make a motion at the end of this, I do not move, until I meet this gentleman, I do not move that we hire Mr. Brecker. And I certainly do not look at Corey's position as vacant. And I'll have to look at the law.
Can you give me that, Dan? I mean, when is your plan, like, when, I need to know, am I working tomorrow, am I working 2 weeks, am I working a month? I mean,
You're
I get buried in
working.
a month.
You're working.
Alright, where is it? Actually, you know what? Okay.
Can you give me that though, Dan?
Yes, you
Yes,
are
we-
working.
we give
You were
that.
hired, you have a job. End of story.
So first off, in regards to, if you read NICO, okay? In regards to appointments, let's see here, that is chapter.
We can get a hold of Ashley, I'm sure she'll be able to handle it.
Chapter 3.
Thank you, chapter 3. Alright, so. Do you know what page of chapter 3 was?
No, I'm looking. Qualifications of appointed office holders, it's first page.
It's the first page, sorry, I'm scrolling up. Okay. So in order to hold an appointed office, an individual must be 18 years of age or older, a citizen of the United States, and a resident of the village. That is village law.
Well, we can't just go and appoint someone else when we've already hired somebody else.
Correct. When he was hired, okay, the term is hired, that means he is at the discretion of the mayor.
And the board.
The mayor, because he is an employee of the village.
That
He
was
is
your
not an
big
employee.
thing, Dan.
What's that?
That was your big thing. The mayor works for the board.
Correct.
That was your big thing. You preached it to me. The mayor works for the board.
Okay, so in regards to that, I cannot appoint Corey per the law as it
Okay.
stands.
But don't be, it's almost like you have this where you're almost telling him he doesn't have a goddamn job. Come on, I mean.
First, Nikki, come to order, okay? First off, in regards to that, Corey still has a job. Okay? There's not stating anywhere in this that he does not have a job. It's just I cannot appoint him per the law. Does everybody understand that Corey cannot be appointed per the law because he is not a resident of the village?
Okay, I want vacant taken out, hired position put in.
So then it can be put that it's vacant because it can't be appointed. Okay, this is all based on appointments. It doesn't state anything in regards to individuals that are hired because they are not strictly appointments.
So who
To
makes
your
these
understanding,
laws?
were you appointed or were you hired?
I thought it was hired.
You was hired, yes. Okay, so Corey, you still have a job with the village of Cattaraugus. You are still the Department of Public Works Superintendent, but I cannot appoint you. Are we all on the same page in regards to that?
To like CSEA?
Okay. Moving forward, wastewater treatment operator per union contract, the pay is $18.24 an hour. Laborer per union contract is $17.69 an hour. Grounds helper is $9.27 an hour. DPW summer help is at minimum wage of $8.75 an hour. Per diem clerk and typist, that position is vacant. Part-time police officer is $13.79 an hour. School crossing guard is $10.43 an hour. Substitute school crossing guard is $10.43 an hour. Janitor is $10.61 an hour. Youth council program director, Stacy Corbin. The pay is through the youth program that we will go for, that we will review later on.
We might be finding a new one of those
Yeah.
per her email. She's not interested in double David doing it anymore, so that we need to keep that open.
Okay, so if we,
I guess we need to get a hold of her and
Okay.
at least talk to her and
I'll give her a
Fine, well, because she just didn't wanna give that list to people,
call. Yeah,
so now he thought I might be dropping
well,
out,
they are,
and.
The saddle's dropping, so it's just us
they didn't have
and,
enough, they didn't have enough kids.
so it's just us and who else?
Us, just us. So
Us,
we'll have to see it.
New Albion and Otto,
So there's 3 towns instead of 4 now?
3 instead of 4.
Okay. Board, historian, still Patrick Colin, excuse me, at no pay. Board of Assessment Review, all the current, members would be James Agnew, Stephen Patterson, and Bruce Moody. Joint Planning Board, Patrick Colin, Myra Johnston, Joe Paget as the chairman, John Illig, and Jan Botstein. Zoning Board of Appeals, Dwayne Smith, Dennis Baker, Wayne Stein is the chairman, Andy Roop, and Mark Reed. Holidays, there are 11 holidays observed throughout the year. 1 would be New Year's Day, 2 Good Friday, 3 Memorial Day, 4 Independence Day, 5 Labor Day, 6 Columbus Day, 7 Veterans Day, 8 Thanksgiving Day, 9 Day after Thanksgiving, 10 Christmas Eve, and 11 Christmas Day. Vacation for employees, we'll start off with the clerk. 1 to 2 years is 1 week, which equates to 40 hours. 3 to 9 years is 2 weeks, which equates to 80 hours. 10 to 24 years is 3 weeks, which equates to 120 hours. And 25 plus years is 4 weeks, which equates to 160 hours. For Department of Public Works, 6 months to 18 months is 1 week, which is 40 hours. 18 months to 4 years is 2 weeks, which is 80 hours. And 5 years plus is 3 weeks, which would be 120 hours. Sick time, they receive 12 sick days out of the year, which is 96 hours. And health insurance is Department of Public Works employee per union contract to May 31st, 2016, which is effective June 1st of this year, is a 10% contribution.
Had the vacation or sick time changed?
No. All that has stayed the same. Do I have a motion for the resolution for appointees and salaries?
I'll make a motion.
I will not second that motion due to the questions about Gary Brecker and Corey. Those I would like, I will second the motion if those are not included in the motion. Can you do that?
Okay, so in regards to,
In regard to the street commissioner and superintendent of public works and the code enforcement officer.
I'll approve it if that's.
I want those to be exceptions.
so in regards to the
Those need to be discussed.
okay, so in regards to street commissioner and superintendent of public works, you wanted to state what?
This needs to be discussed further. He has a job, but we need to talk about this. And as far as the code enforcement officer, I will not second that motion. I want to talk to our existing code enforcement, make sure he is not interested.
So, first off, in regards to the code enforcement officer, I have known that Frank has taken an extended amount of time to be able to approve of permits and so on and so forth for individuals. One which was for them to build something within their home took over a month because he did not get to them. I feel that that a code enforcement officer should be reporting weekly and should be able to handle any requests that residents of the village have. It's not like it's that exhausting of a job. I mean, primarily it's knowledge. Where this individual, Gary Brecker, will stop at least a minimum of 2 times a week to see if there's anything that needs to be done, and he will go and take care of it immediately.
I'd still like to meet the gentleman first.
And then in regards to Corey, the position, I cannot put in there that it is an appointment, therefore it remains vacant.
It should be put in there that it's a higher position.
The position itself is for appointing. We're not discussing in regards to who holds the positions, same as with police officers, same as in regards to school crossing guards. It is strictly the salary and appointments. So this has nothing to do against Corey, is if everybody seems that it's what it's to be, it is not. It is simply that I cannot appoint him, and that
We
is
were
how it's
under,
stated.
we were under the impression that when he was hired for the duration
Until,
until he
He was
decided
done.
elsewhere, or until there was some, something in his conduct that, was detrimental, okay? We did not, and that's how I hired. We hired this gentleman in good faith,
Mhm.
that if he wants this job for the next 20 years and doesn't do anything to jeopardize his position, he has it regardless of where he lives. That's the way that's the way I look at it.
That's still not going against anything that
No,
I'm saying.
no, that's what,
I just don't like it saying, I mean, and I know even if it says it in NICOM, I just don't like it saying vacant.
I did not know we were subject to residents, other than board members, we were subject in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, I know like when we did the hiring, I mean, obviously you wanted to hire from within the village or whatever, but he had,
You have the licenses.
he had,
What licenses do you
Everything's
possess,
over.
Corey?
All my water licenses.
Do you have, which would be what, which are, can you
I
speak?
have two B, C, and D.
Do you have the 1A?
I do not.
And in order to operate the village's water restrictions or watering, we have to have a 1A, correct?
Christopher Springs.
Okay, does,
So we're primarily spring fed.
did you have all of those when you first came in?
What's that?
Did you have all the water licenses when you first came in?
okay,
I
I'm
guess
not
I wanna
trying
know,
to
Ken,
play.
do I have a job after Monday's meeting? I mean, how
Yes.
quickly am
Yes.
I looking for a job?
you have a job, okay? I cannot appoint you, again, I don't know how I can make this more crystal clear. I can't appoint you.
understand that.
But you are still the Department of, or DPW superintendent, okay? I can't appoint you, this has nothing to do with regards to you, except I can't appoint you, or else your name would be on this sheet, is what it amounts to, okay? What I am strictly doing as mayor is in regards to appointments and salaries. If you lived in the village, then I could appoint you, yet you don't, therefore I cannot. And I do not have listed anybody else who holds a position unless they are appointed. So you are an employee of the village of Cattaraugus, as is all of the police officers, the school crossing guards, the cleaners, laborers. Same with, John and Toad are not listed on here because they are employees, they are not an appointed position.
Their contract.
Correct. It is just stating their contract. So you are currently the DPW superintendent.
And will be until he does something to get himself fired or until he quits.
I mean, at this point in time, the seat is vacant because I cannot appoint him, okay? But he holds the position at this point in time.
No, he's hired, he holds the
Doesn't make it
position.
sleep well at night, Dan.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know how you guys how this could be any simpler, is that this has nothing to do with Corey's
No,
job.
but you're saying at this time, he holds the position at this time, Well, that's great, I'm glad he holds the position at this time, but, and then you're saying, well, I have the control
Well,
because
if he
I'm
holds-
the mayor and
If he
I'm
holds
like,
the
oh my
position, the
God.
position is occupied, and therefore the position is not vacant.
So we're not talking about the position, we're talking about the.
Correct.
Oh,
Right.
that's the seat of the one.
Thank you. No more. In regards to this. So, in regards to superintendent of public works, so that we can move forward, the seat is vacant because general law states I cannot appoint Corey. Everybody understands that, correct?
Cannot appoint him, but we can hire him.
He is a hired employee at this point in time. Okay?
Moving on.
So, going forward, I have a motion for the resolution for appointments and salaries.
You have a motion.
No motion.
Okay? Do I have a second?
What is the salary for the superintendent?
It's not on the appointed list because you're hired and not appointed.
Correct.
Whatever your current salary is.
Which is, I believe, 45,000, correct? Okay, so I will second the motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All who oppose say no.
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 So, in regards to this, in regards to not approving the appointments and salaries, then we cannot do anything in regards to with the union, which will, you guys will have to discuss with the union in regards to all of that, because we cannot approve it to go higher because of the appointments and salaries portion of this. And also in regards to anybody's salary, that is to get the 3% increase. And that goes for all village employees. Does anybody want to discuss this any further?
I want to have
Like I said
Corey's
before.
job established 150,000% before I second anything on this.
Corey has a job. Corey cannot be appointed, so
And he's
he is
hired.
he is a hired employee, and he is the Department of Public Works superintendent.
No, nobody's questioning that.
I get what you're saying. I get that it's the law, but just don't like the.
I just cannot appoint him. That is what it amounts to, is I cannot appoint him, yet he holds the position of Department of Public Works because he's a hired employee. Just like we're not discussing John or Toad's employment with the village because they're employees. They are not appointed.
I guess the question is that because John and Toad reside here. Okay, I think that's
I think that's the
that's
kicker.
where we're splitting hairs, that's where we're banging our heads right now. John and Toad are residents of the village.
Okay,
Corey is not. I think
Correct.
we would like some assurance that if he doesn't do anything wrong and somebody comes through that door, applies for his position and is a resident, that he is still safe in his position.
in regards to that, okay, if that were to happen, that would be via the board. Number two, we would have to open up a hiring process for an appointed official for the Department of Public Works.
You're mincing words there though, you're saying appointed or hiring process for an appointed position.
Well, you still have to
It's
interview.
application.
Right, no, I'm just saying.
Yes, so you still have to have a regular interview process
Right.
if you're going to appoint. It's not going to be, oh, well, guess what? This individual here is a resident and therefore I, Mayor
Okay,
Dan
that's
Rocher,
where
appoint him.
cause you're like, well, for now he does, and I'm like, holy shit, you come blasting in with guns one day and be like, alright, you're gone, see you later, you know, like,
So,
cause that's not, that in my eyes
He
wouldn't
works.
be fair. If that's, other
He
than
works.
that,
He serves at our discretion, correct, Rose?
Corey?
Since it's my understanding that the mayor only gets to vote in terms of tie.
No. A mayor has the, per village law, the mayor can actually vote a motion, can second a motion, can vote as any board trustee. Typically, a mayor holds their right to vote unless there's a tiebreaker or if they want their vote to be publicly known. So with the mayor as a board trustee as well, is able to do all the same as a trustee.
Is that
And
documented
why,
somewhere?
and why on the previous were all the votes only four?
Because the mayor can,
Eric never
Correct, because the mayor does not have to cast a vote. If they choose to keep their vote to themselves, they can go ahead and choose to do such. So that it's just your 4 names, or 4 trustee names on the minutes and on the vote itself.
Yeah.
Not,
Do you have that somewhere that we can?
yes, actually,
I believe. No, I'm curious myself. That's fine, I'm curious though.
yeah, it's
I wasn't aware of that.
in. I have it written here in regards to the regular rules and procedures that NICOM has.
Okay.
Trying to find where it is.
You're asking, I'm sorry, Rick, I'm trying to,
I mean, does the superintendent serve at the mayor's discretion or at the board's discretion?
okay, it does say in here, trustees do not possess any inherent authority to supervise or direct the work of subordinate village officers or employees. The responsibility and power to supervise is vested in the village mayor. Let me look, let me keep looking. The mayor appoints all non-elected officers and employees. Mayoral appointments are subject to approval by the Board of Trustees. Mayor is permitted to vote on all board approvals of mayoral appointments. The mayor may delegate the power to appoint certain employees to other village officers or employees, but these appointments are also subject to board approval.
Where are you reading from?
Chapter 2, elected officials. It's probably also in the packet that you have of elected and appointed officials.
Yes.
The mayor can appoint individuals to fill vacancies in both elected and appointed offices when the vacancy occurs before the expiration of the term. Mayoral appointments to fill vacancies that occur before the expiration of the term are not subject to board approval. Supervise the police and other subordinate officers of the village. I'm sorry, I just haven't,
okay.
I haven't found specifically that.
Sounds like.
Would I be permitted to address the board for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, Jay.
This is a question of law that you were asking, whether or not he can be terminated. And typically, a question of law has multiple layers that it goes through. And if the statement in the NICOM book is silent, places that have to be looked at in this order are any written contract that Corey has with the village. Then you would look at the collective bargaining agreement with CSEA that Rick mentioned. And then after that, you would look to see if there are any gap fillers, what are called statutory provisions that are defaults that exist. Now, the NICOM book, if it's silent, there may not be a statutory gap filler provision that says who has the power to terminate. My understanding, though I would have to do research before I could give you a definitive answer, is that supervision may entail and carry with it the right to terminate for cause, and that would be in the collective bargaining agreement as well as how the definition of that is, and it's typically a factual determination. That's my understanding of the law on the issue. I apologize for speaking.
No, thank you.
Please
Thank you
do.
for your check.
Thank
No,
you.
No problem, no problem.
So does that clear in regards to
Yes.
Corey's employment with the village?
Yes.
Okay.
Can,
And then also, one last thing in regards to Rick's question, in regards to voting in chapter 5, this would be page 6, in regards to where it says voting pursuant to village law, each member of the board of trustees has 1 vote. The mayor may vote on any matter, but must vote in the case of a tie. So that's typically what happens. Yes. Yes.
Very
So-
seldom have a time. Okay.
Correct. And very seldom do.
Do we have time?
Correct. So, in regards to the resolution for appointees, or for appointments and for salaries, do we want to re-vote on this?
You said you had I'm sorry to keep stalling. I'm not stalling, but I'm,
No, we just want to make sure.
You need to know.
Gary Brecker. You said you had his resume.
It's in your packet.
Is that?
Yes. It's in your
His pile of papers that I have to go through.
Yeah. A ton of them, yes. So that everybody has a little brief history on Mr. Breckler. Okay, he lives in Napoli, it's about where he lives. He is a very old school individual. He- You can tell that actually his resume, okay, is, he actually did this on a typewriter. This was not done, okay? He works a lot, that's what he does, is work. He lives off the land, kind of a man, okay? He goes to work and then he goes home and takes care of his house and everything. Mr. Brecker is a very responsible individual. He has that old school work ethic where he cares about his name, his reputation, and the work that he does.
Yeah. It says in his, or in his resume rather, that he's presently the code officer for Brant, Rwanda, Napoli, South Dayton, and Dayton. Have you, I know I haven't, have you spoken with any of those municipalities regarding him?
In regards to any of the municipalities, the only one I would have spoken with was the village of Rwanda, where I spoke with the mayor, Heather McKeever, and she has said nothing but embraced him in regards to what he has done. That, you know, he makes his trips around, and obviously Rwanda is a bigger municipality than us, and they're much busier. That he does, you know, he's able to take care of that whole village just himself. And then also on top of it, have all these other ones that have very minimal. I mean, I would say that out of all the other ones that he takes care of, I would hope, with us being a village, and being bigger than South Dayton, that we would have more work than, like, we would be his number 2 stop in regards to work that needs to be done.
Will he be able to make it to meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
I know, he does a little bit, I know he does that.
Okay. If he can make meetings and
Yes.
not be like walking in at 8 o'clock.
Yes. So I can speak with him and have him attend the meetings as the board desires, which, in regards to going over, if you look at the rules and procedures, when we go over each committee, that would also entail the code enforcer officer. So, yes, he will be able to attend those. That would be something that this village has yet to have at the present time, is where he's able to be here anytime. You don't wonder, oh, there he is, kind of bit.
Or his voice messful.
That too.
Okay. So we're good with him and his job. It's just a
Formality because
formality
he cannot
because
be
he is
appointed.
not a
Correct.
resident of the village. Right?
Correct.
We're good.
Correct.
Okay.
Rick? Good. All right, so, are everybody ready to re-vote then?
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, can I get a motion for the resolution for,
We have one stand, Tom already made one.
okay, can I get a second then? I'll second the motion, and then can I have a new vote? All those in favor of the resolution for appointments and salaries for 2015 to 2016, say aye. Aye. And all opposed, say no. All right, so it's unanimous. Okay,
So you second?
yes, I second it. Yes, because that was from the previous. I didn't know if we had to revisit it and we have to have it start all over, so I apologize to everybody there.
Good clarifying.
All right, so moving on to resolution number 3.
Wait a second.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. Could we have Mr. Franz say something about himself and?
I would be very happy to, certainly. I graduated from Wake Law in 2010, that's in North Carolina, but I've lived in New York my entire life. I went to Clarkson University, which is in Potsdam, and I have a degree in engineering and management. And separately from Wake Forest that I got in 2010 in law. I've practiced law for 4 years. I have previously worked with municipalities in drafting and passing laws. I've helped municipalities work with the correct procedures in order to understand the zoning procedures that are appropriate for placement of new developments. I've also helped the village of Rwanda specifically with a very controversial issue they had about the mental health clinic, which was proposed to be sited at the old Jamestown location on Main Street. And although the board of the village of Rwanda was bound by an action of the planning board, because the planning board was erroneously advised by a previous attorney, and the planning board passed an environmental quality resolution. And the village board would have been bound by that to allow the placing of the mental health clinic on the Jamestown Street property. So on behalf of multiple citizens, I sued the village of Gowanda in order to allow the village board to begin that process again. And now they're going to be putting that, my understanding, it's been publicly accepted, instead of on Main Street, about a block back, and it'll be replacing a derelict building and 2 houses that have suffered fire damage. And that was a very long process, and the village attorney and the developer's attorney were both opposed counsel on that, and fought very heavily to not see that happen. Not that I'm antagonistic towards villages. I saw that it would be a better outcome for the village, and a lot of people thought the same, and it was the most attended village meeting in probably 10 years in Village of Gowanda history. And there, I think 3 people spoke for it, and about 20 people spoke against. And I know from private discussions that some of the board members didn't want it, but they were displeased that they were bound to that action. And I decided to help the village out because I was asked to, and so I have worked on some municipal matters before. I've also been practicing for 4 years, and I've done lots and lots of other types of cases.
Where do you live now?
I live in the Village of Gowanda.
Are you part of a firm or do you practice independently?
I practice independently.
Tom, do you have a question for Jay?
Well, much the same as would be considered Mr. Brecker, are you able to attend regular meetings?
If we need you.
Yes,
Yes, yes, sir.
that was my understanding as to probably what an agreement would look like in this context, yes.
Well, do you have another question for him?
No, I'm good.
Okay, is everybody good to move on to resolution number 3?
Absolutely.
Okay, for resolution number 3, 2015-16, advance approval of claims. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined to authorize payment in advance of audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. And whereas all such claims must be presented at the next regular meeting for audit. And whereas the claimant and the officer incurring or approving the claim are jointly and severely liable for any amount the Board of Trustees disallows. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the Board of Trustees authorizes payment in advance for audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. All such claims must be presented at the next regular meeting for audit, and the claimant and the officer incurring or approving the claims are jointly and severely liable for any amount the Board of Trustees disallows. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately. Do I have a motion?
Okay, so that will take care of the late fees and, you know, the worrying about waiting to pay a bill till it's approved, right?
Yes.
That's what it's taking care of.
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, and, excuse me, all in favor say aye. Aye. And all that, not in favor say no. Approved and carried. Resolution number 4, 2015 is 2016 mileage allowance. Whereas the Board of Trustees is determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to village officers and employees who use their personal automobiles while performing their official duties. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the Board of Trustees will approve reimbursement to such officers and employees at the rate of the current IRS allowance per mile. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately. Motion for resolution number 4, mileage allowance.
I'm so moved.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Approved and carried. Resolution number 5, 2015 to 2016, attendance at schools and conferences. Whereas there is to be held during the coming official year, NICOM's annual meeting and training school, NICOM's fall training school, NICOM's Public Works Training School, Cattaraugus County Association meetings, and etc. And whereas attendance by certain municipal officials and employees at one or more of these meetings, conferences, or schools benefits the municipality. Now therefore be it resolved, section 1, that the officers and employees are authorized to attend the following schools: NICOM's annual meeting and training school, NICOM's fall training school, NICOM's Public Works Training School, Cattaraugus County Association meetings, etc. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately. And I have a motion for resolution number 5, attendance at schools and conferences.
I'll make the motion.
And second, All right, all in favor of 2015-16 attendance at schools and conferences, say aye. Aye.
Was that Rick seconded?
I second.
Yes,
Thank
Rick
you.
seconded. And all in, or all opposed, say no. Approved and carried. Resolution number 6, 2015-16 designation depositories. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined that Village Law, Section 4-412(32) requires the designation of banks or trust companies for the deposit of all village monies. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Section 1, that the Board of Trustees designates the following institutions as depositories of all monies received by the village treasurer, clerk, and receiver of taxes. The name of the institution, Bank of Cattaraugus. Section 2, that this resolution is effective immediately. Motion.
I'll make that.
And Nikki seconds it. All that approve of designation depositories, say aye.
Aye.
All that oppose, say no. Approved and carried.
Before you read the next one, the youth council is still up in the air. I see where this next one's going, but, can we make a motion and come back to youth council if we figure out there's going to be youth council?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As far as I know, there still is.
Yeah, I think.
At this point, Stacy and I have been working on a budget that works with just 3 contributions
Okay,
rather than the
okay.
4.
All right,
I don't have anything final.
that amount might be incorrect.
Jean, and if down the road, you can just transfer it to a different account, right?
If the amount is, if it's not $2,700 less, it's not an issue.
You mean if it's less?
If it's-
You're
Or more.
you're approving 2,700.
Okay, all right.
Specifically.
We get 2,700.
That's what they get, that's all they
All
get.
right.
Or else we would have to revisit and make a new resolution for
Oh,
that.
right, yeah.
There's gonna be an issue, so, okay.
Okay, so this is for as of right now then, okay? Resolution number 7, 2015-16, contracts and agreements. Authorization to sign the following contracts and agreements is typically given to Eugene
You.
Set.
No, you,
Oh, to me?
to you.
Oh, well, there we go. All right, it's given to me as mayor. Cattaraugus Area Youth Council is set at $2,700. Cattaraugus Library is set at $4,500. Let's Travel Club Senior Citizens Program is still at $800. Town of New Albion reimbursement of half of the deputy clerk wages and clerk health insurance, which was signed back in January 2015. Town of New Albion equipment signed that we had back with them back in January of 2015. Town of New Albion Village Hall rental, which was signed January of 2015. Do I have a motion for this?
Was it last meeting, weren't we discussing, possibility of, asking the town to contribute more? Wasn't that?
Yes, but you would have to do it this fall because their budget is set for the year.
Okay.
So you would have to give them notice this fall in order for them to adjust, to
Okay.
put it into
All right.
next year's.
Then-
Did the village already give notice to discuss that?
No, we were discussing, it just came up for discussion.
Yeah,
Okay.
The
you
last
discussed
time.
it amongst yourselves, but you didn't go outside
Right.
of the board.
So that it's something.
I make that motion.
They don't pay
Yeah,
enough to cover even their expenses here, but we pay, but they.
Gotcha.
right.
So that's something that we'll need to take care of at a later
Yes.
meeting. All right, so Rick, motion it, second.
I'll second.
All of all those in favor of the resolution for contracts and agreements, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Approved and carried. All right, resolution number 8, 2015-2016, fees and permits. All right, so for fees, are staying the same. Tax certificate, $10 a copy. Vital records are $10 a copy. Genealogical search is $20 for 2 names. A solicitation permit is $10 a day per person. Return check fee is $35.
That is an increase.
That's an increase from $20, which we did check with other municipalities, because didn't know if it was a law that there was a minimal. The highest that we did see is that a municipality did have $50. So for any return check to the village would be $35. In foil copies, that is law, must remain at 25 cents a page. Zoning permits and new construction is to mimic the town of New Albion. Minimum permit is $50, demolitions is $50, decks, porches, and fences is $50, swimming pools is $50, wood stove, chimneys are $50. New construction up to 2,000 square feet is $100. 2001 to 5,000 square feet is $150. 5,001 to 10,000 square feet is $200. Over 10,000 square feet is $400. Special use is $100. Variance is $100. Surcharge building without permit is $150 charge. Do I have a motion for resolution resolution number 8, fees and permits?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All that approve, resolution number 8, fees and permits, say aye. Aye. All that oppose, say no. Approved and carried. All right, let's see here. We're at resolution number 9, 2015-16, signatory on general account.
I brought all the signature cards to sign.
Oh, did you?
So we can do it tonight?
We'll need,
We'll need a copy of
if
the
we
minutes.
don't have copies of, do you have copies of your ID down at the bank?
I don't know.
No, Dan. Do you have,
I just.
if not, you'll have to stop in, we need copies of ID.
Or if you can
Yeah, I
just
did
do it
one
here.
by you. Everybody else should be down there already. So,
Okay. Remind me before we leave.
That was, what I had to look to.
Was it? All right,
That's
so.
all we have to do.
All right, so in regards to resolution number 9, whereas the board has determined it of benefit to the village to have multiple signers on the general account, so village business may be conducted in a timely manner. The following shall be given authority to sign checks for the village: Daniel Mosier as mayor, Rick Fuse as deputy mayor, Eugene Doucette as treasurer, and Rosa Quay as clerk. Do I have a motion for signatory on general account?
So, so,
We'll look.
Go ahead, go ahead, Nick.
You making a motion again?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor of resolution number 9, signatory on general account, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Approved and carried. Resolution number 10. Let's see here. There is, actually, we're not done yet. Almost.
I'm like,
You were all excited.
wow.
Okay, so everybody knows there is a copy of the village Cattaraugus employee handbook, resolution for fixed asset policies, investment policies, workplace policy, also the elected and appointed officials' positions and duties. That goes for all of the appointments. So that would be mayor, duties of the deputy mayor, also board trustees, and I believe clerk and treasurer are also on there. Correct, Rose?
Yes.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
It is, okay. So you can read that in your own time. I do not want to go forward and read all of it. Oh. However, though, what we do need to cover, also the procurement policy is in there as well, along with the amendments. What we do need to go over, though, is the meeting rules of procedure, so that we all have a crystal clear understanding of how this works. Does everybody have that out? And so, you know, when you flip it over, it's, go over to the next one. Okay, so, first off, let's see here. Does anybody else want to talk or read one of these sections? Or
I'll read if you want.
would you please read this?
Okay, just want to look at the first page.
Yeah, take the first page down to special meetings, that'll work.
Okay, regular meetings. The mayor of the village presides at meetings of the board of trustees. In the mayor's absence, the deputy mayor shall preside. The regular meeting of the board of trustees will be held on the second Monday of each month. The regular meetings will commence at 7 p.m. and be held in the board/courtroom at the village hall. The work session meetings. The work session meeting of the board of trustees will be held on the fourth Monday of each month. The work session meeting will commence at 7 p.m. and be held in the board/courtroom of the village hall. The work session meetings will not allow public commentary, yet allow the public to see the board and trustees discuss topics, new endeavors, and work. The public is encouraged to attend and bring any questions and/or suggestions to regular meetings of the board of trustees. As far as special meetings go, special meetings of the board of trustees are all those board meetings other than regular and work session meetings. A special meeting may be called by the mayor or any trustee upon notice to the entire board. Notice may be given by telephone, in person, email, or in writing at least 24 hours in advance unless an emergency calls.
Thank you, Tom. Anybody else want to read
Come on, Rick.
You're an English teacher.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, I'll pick up the second page. Sure. Quorum of the 5-member board of trustees is 3. In the absence of a quorum, a lesser number may adjourn, which you would have to compel the attendance of absent members. Executive sessions will be held in accordance with public law number 105. All executive sessions will be commenced in a public meeting. Agenda is the agenda of every meeting of the board of trustees prepared by the clerk at the direction of the mayor. The mayor or any trustee may have an item placed on the agenda on at least 24 hours notice when possible. Items for the agenda must be given to the clerk by 4 p.m. the day prior to the meeting. Items may be placed on the agenda at any time, including during the meeting, by a majority vote of the board. The agenda will be prepared and emailed to the board members, except this one, no later than 5 p.m. the day before the meeting. If necessary, a supplemental agenda may be dispersed at the beginning of the meeting. Pursuant to village law, each member of the board of trustees has 1 vote. The mayor may vote on any matter, but must cast a vote in case of a tie. Vote upon any question to be taken by yes or no. When taking votes, the clerk must record the minutes for each trustee, whether they voted yes, voted no, abstained, or were absent. Abstentions and absences should not be counted as votes. Abstentions and absences are neither positive nor negative votes. They simply are no vote at all. For the purpose of determining whether a matter passed, the clerk must tally the number of yes votes. Unless otherwise specified by state law, majority of the totally authorized voting power of the board must vote yes for the matter to pass. It might be one on a roll. Minutes will be taken by the clerk. Minutes must consist of a record of all motions, proposals, resolutions, and any other matter formally voted upon and the vote thereon. Minutes must include the following: name of the board, date, place, time of the meeting, notation of whether a board member is present, absent, and the board member's time of arrival, time of departure if different from the time the meeting was called to order and adjourned. Name and title of other village officials and employees present and the approximate number of attendees. Record of communications presented to the board. Record of reports made by the board or other village personnel. Time of adjournment and signature of clerk or person who took the minutes, if not the clerk. Minutes may not contain summary of discussion leading to action taken or include verbatim comments unless the majority of the board resolves to have the clerk do so. Minutes must be approved by the board at the next meeting. The minutes may be amended only upon board approval. Order of business, call to order, stand and recite pledge, roll call, approval of previous meetings minutes, public comment period, report of officers and committees, police department, crossing guard, streets, DPW, water, sewer, village properties, events, Memorial Day parade, insurance, civil defense, youth council, senior citizens, parks, trees, ambulance, planning, zoning, code enforcement officer, treasurer, reporter, treasurer report, clerk, tax collector, registrar report, attorney, legalities, historian, God, we never get out of here, correspondence, old business, new business, appropriations, auditing, adjournment. Rules of procedure: the mayor and the village, the mayor of the village presides at meetings of the board of trustees in the mayor's absence. Deputy mayor shall preside. The mayor of the village presides.
Yes.
Yes. Did I read this?
No, we
I
didn't.
did
That's
not. Okay.
in there twice.
I'm sorry. Okay. Do we need to read this?
Yes.
Okay. The mayor of the village presides at work sessions, meetings of the board of trustees. In the mayor's absence, the deputy mayor shall preside. This is deleted. Board members. Is that deleted or not?
No, it's highlighted.
The presiding officer, that's why I failed in college, I highlighted in black.
You're doing fine. You're doing Go.
Yeah, okay.
But we're great.
Yeah,
We're great.
I highlighted in black. Okay, sorry. The presiding officer may debate, move, make motions, and take other action that other board members may take. Board members are not required to rise, but must be recognized by the presiding officer before making motions and speaking. Motions require a second. A board member, once recognized, may not be interrupted when speaking unless it is to call him, her to order. If a board member, while speaking, is called to order, they must cease speaking until the question of order is determined. If the member is in order, he or she shall be permitted to proceed. A board member may not be limited in the number of times he or she speaks on a question. Motions to close or limit debate require a 2/3 vote. Board members will observe commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, dignity, and good taste. Oh, right, okay, guidelines?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Am I stealing your thunder? You want me to keep going?
You're
Okay. Public may speak only during the meeting's public comment period, and any other time a majority of the board allows. Speakers must be recognized by the presiding officer. Speakers must give their name, organization, if any. Speakers must limit their remarks to 3 minutes on any given topic. Good luck. After everyone who wishes to speak has spoken once, the mayor or presiding officer may grant an additional 3 minutes to a previous speaker. Speakers may not yield any remaining time they may have to another speaker. Board members may, with the permission of the mayor, interrupt the speaker during the remarks, but only for the purpose of clarification or information. All remarks shall be addressed to the board as a body, not to individual board members. Speakers must observe the commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, dignity, and good taste. Interested parties or the representatives may also address the board by written communication. Guidelines. All members of the, guidelines for use of recording equipment. This has never raised its head, but I'll read it anyway. All members of the public and all public officials are allowed to tape or video record public meetings. Recording is not allowed during executive sessions. The recording must be done in a manner which does not interfere with the meeting. The mayor may make the determination that the recording is being done in an intrusive manner, taking into consideration but not limited to brightness of lights, distance from the village board, size of equipment, amount of noise generated by the activity, and the ability of the public to still participate in the meeting. If the mayor determines that the recording is interfering with the meeting, the mayor may request that the individual alter his or her behavior to eliminate the interference. If the mayor's request is not complied with, the mayor may have the individual removed from the meeting room. Meetings must be adjourned by motion. You're very welcome. Should know where.
Should have. All right, I believe that's everything that we have at this point in time. So, with no further business to discuss.
Actually, if I might, and this is only at the board's discretion, could I steal you for about 10 minutes from executive session?
No problem.
Absolutely.
All right, I would appreciate that. You'll have to do that during the meeting, and then you go to executive session, then you come back from executive session in order to close the meeting. That's the proper procedure.
And we need a motion to go into executive, correct?
Do I have a motion?
Correct. I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll go.
All in favor of going to executive session with?
Motion Tom, second Nikki.
Second. All right,
And what-
all in favor of going to executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say no.
I need a purpose.
To speak with
Personnel matters.
personnel matters.
She told you.
Yeah.
7:08.
Yeah, apparently it's on our side.
Okay.
Dan,
Yes.
red button.
Red button, yes.